It was a Monday morning, and while other kids were probably in homeroom, standing for the Pledge of Allegiance or whispering to each other about their crushes, my classmates and I filed into the chapel, guided by Father Pembroke's hawkish gaze. It seemed to me that the father never blinked, only squinted through narrow slits as we filled the first two rows of pews. Once we were all seated, Pembroke clasped his hands behind his back, started to pace back and forth. I thought of a video I'd seen last week in science class of a lion prowling through tall grass, seeking its meal for the day. I didn't need to finish watching it to know how it would end. Pembroke spoke, his voice like tires spinning in gravel. "Good morning, children." "Good morning, Father." Silence filled the chapel. Pembroke let it fester, let it tighten around us like a white-knuckled hand. I clutched my gut to keep it from turning over, but it started flopping around anyway. My stomach groaned, then made a weird ripping noise that sounded like fabric being torn in half. I hugged myself tighter. A couple of my friends smirked at me, but no one dared laugh. We all knew what was coming next, and it was no laughing matter. "Tell me," Pembroke said, "what has God taught you lately?" We kept silent at first, as we always did when Pembroke asked this question each morning. He waited, held up his right hand, and started to wiggle his fingers. We all knew he was getting ready to call on somebody. "Kevin," Pembroke said, "what has God been teaching you?" I let myself relax, slouched into the pew. I was safe for now. Unfortunately, Kevin wasn't so lucky. He stood, fiddled with his hands, and mumbled something. I was sitting just 2 seats away from him, and even I couldn't hear what he was saying. "Speak up," Pembroke roared. "What has God taught you?" I don't know," Kevin said. "You mean to tell me that God has taught you nothing?" "I guess." "No, do not guess, young man." And so it went. Poor Kevin.